Okay, over to you, Jeremy. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi, Chris. Well bowled today. That was a pretty spectacular return to Test cricket. How much did you enjoy it?
Yeah, loved it. Loved it. Great to be back in the whites. Feels like it's been quite a long time coming. Yeah, it felt great to be back out there, and obviously winning the toss and bowling, and then to bowl a team out for 190, I suppose is is what we plan to do, or what you try and do. So to do that was really pleasing.
It's been over a year since you were last in the Test team, Chris. Can you just take us through the year and how frustrating it's been not being part of the Test team?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a weird year. It's been a weird 18 months or so for everyone, I suppose. But I feel like it's just been a bit up and down. I've been in Test squads throughout the winter. Obviously, didn't get the nod. Being caught up in a few isolation incidents to do with COVID. And yeah, then obviously this summer picked up a niggle. So been a bit up and down since January, but it was well worth the wait to get out there today and be back bowling for England. I really enjoyed it.
Sure. And just finally from me, how do you see the match situation after day one? Who do you think's on top?
I mean, it's always tough to say, isn't it? I think obviously we won the toss and bowled first, and then bowled a team out for 190. You kind of you're really happy with that. Obviously, we wouldn't have liked to have lost 3 tonight. Including Joe. Obviously, that's it's always a big wicket in the form he's in. But I think we still feel like we can bat well tomorrow. Hopefully, get past their score, get a good lead, and then put the pressure back on them again. But we've got some good batting to do yet. Tomorrow's going to be a big day for us. So I'd like to think we're on top, but obviously, as always in Test cricket, morning session is always crucial.
Thanks, Chris. Well bowled.
Cheers.
Thanks, Jeremy. Let's go, Rory Dollar, please.
Hi, Chris. Well bowled.
Hi, Rory.
Just wonder how much you were keen to get into this series. It's been a sort of swinging back and forward, some really great Test matches, bit of spice and a bit of niggle in there. I just wonder if you've been sat at home watching on TV, desperate to get into this thing.
Yeah, obviously, absolutely desperate to play cricket again. To be honest with you, it's been a bit tricky coming back from the heel injury. It's one of those which I've never had before. So I actually thought originally it would be, a week or two and I'll be back bowling, but unfortunately it just carried on for a lot longer than anticipated. But yeah, been obviously watching from home. I always felt like I was going to play a part at some point during this series. So it was always important for me to keep an eye on everything that's going on. So I've watched quite a bit from home, along with obviously doing a lot of training. So yeah, I was really excited to get in and be a part of the squad again. And obviously when I got the nod yesterday, I was, excited to get going.
We see when you got the nod there. Obviously, you haven't had a great deal of cricket in terms of red ball cricket since you last played. Did the guys, did Joe or Chris have to sort of say to you, it's up to you. Are you ready to go and play a Test match? Did the call lie with you?
I don't think it obviously wasn't solely on me. I think I've been working with the medical team for the last couple of weeks to try and get me as close to match ready as possible. I obviously kind of declared myself fit as much as I could. I said, I haven't got much cricket under my belt, but at the same time, I feel like my body is pretty much ready to go. Don't get me wrong; it's going to be sore. I'll be probably a bit sore in the morning, but it's good to have those pains back and those bowling aches. Really pleased to obviously be in the squad and be playing.
Cheers.
Okay, let's go. George, John Etheridge, and then Mike Walters. Go ahead, George.
Good day, Woakes. Well bowled. We've seen you left out of a couple of sides over the last year or two when other people might have, sulked or whatever. Do you ever think that you're too amenable and that has counted against you?
No, I don't look at it that way. I think it's well publicised that my record at England is in England than it is away from home. So I suppose that has played into the factors of me not playing in the along with a few other issues with COVID and things. So I don't think that's generally the case. I think I obviously played a lot of cricket last summer. I felt like my performances were pretty good, and I was picked on merit, and wasn't going to be dropped at that point last year. I like to have thought, had I been available this summer, I'd have kind of been in the first 11 as well. So, thankfully, obviously being selected for this game is really pleasing. And I'm just thankful that I've been able to hit the ground running and take some wickets today.
Can you talk us through some of your plans today? We saw quite a lot of wobble seam, but what were you trying to do?
To be honest, I actually tried to, obviously coming back and not played a huge amount of red ball, I was actually quite focused on doing what I do well, which is obviously taking the ball away from the right-hander, trying to get some movement there. But obviously I know also that the lads have had some good success with the wobble seam in the series so far. So I was trying to kind of add that to my game a little bit, maybe more than I usually would. And thankfully, I think, the surface responded to that. But I also felt like I actually found a rhythm early and probably got away with, or kind of lost the nerves with the way I bowled in the first couple of overs. So that was obviously really nice to start well and kind of settle me down.
Okay, I'll let other people have a go. Cheers, thanks a lot.
Cheers, John, Mike, and then we'll take one more after that. Go ahead, please. One each, please.
Chris, the other day, Joe described your last year as a nightmare. Is that how you describe it, or is that going a bit strong?
Yeah, that might be a little bit strong. There's people who've had that in the world that have had a lot worse 18 months than I've had. But in terms of me not capitalising on the year that I had last year, to then not play as much cricket as I have, feels like I might have missed out a little bit. But at the same time, I'm always grateful when I manage to get back in the side and hopefully show what I can do and showcase my skills. And today to be able to bowl on in conditions which particularly for the first half of the day felt like they were good conditions to bowl. I'm really pleased that I've been able to show what I can do again.
So just tell us exactly what happened with the heel injury. Everyone said it was a bit of a freakish thing. You fell down the stairs at home. Could you just tell us what happened?
Yeah, exactly that. It was during the time when we just got at home, and I actually just slipped down the stairs, slipped down a few steps and whacked my heel, and didn't think much of it at the time. And then when I came out of isolation, I started bowling again, started running and things, and I just made it worse by trying to bowl and kind of not giving it the time that I probably should have done, and that made it worse. And therefore, it took a lot longer than I probably would have done had I have not bowled immediately coming out of isolation.
Thank you. Just.
And last one, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Chris, well bowled. I'm sure you've got better things to do with your time, but have you ever sat down and calculated how many air miles or motorway miles you've done between your first test wicket today and your last one last year? It must be running to thousands and thousands.
I can imagine.
Glad to hear that.
Imagine it's quite a few. So yeah, it's obviously been a weird year for myself, but today was well worth